Good morning to everyone present in this occasion. Very warm welcome to our chief guest, Sri Rajesh S. Today, I, Kiran Shankar of first year geology, will be presenting a case study of Munderi, which is a small village in Malappuram district. So, I would like to start my presentation with an idea. What if every single person, a common man, is able to understand and accurately know vulnerability of natural disaster in a particular area? Then surely people will be able to make better decisions, whether it is for constructing houses or other buildings. So today I will be presenting on the topic socio-economic impact of geologists, a case study of Munderi Malappuram. So within the last 3 years, natural disasters like landslides and floods together have claimed the life of more than 100 people in the district of Malappuram. I was lucky enough to visit Munderi Seed Farm on 25th September 2020 to have a first-hand experience on what actually happened there. So, what actually happened in Munderi? The media blamed mining to be the cause of several landslides which took place, and one major landslide which took the life of 59 people, which is Kavlapara landslide. Media reports said that Kavlapara was an active mining site and that mining, along with heavy rainfall, had caused landslide. But actually, the disaster was avoidable. What I witnessed was very different to the media reports. Every single mountain slope had evidence of landslide, and Chaliar River was flooded. During the Kavlapara disaster, 59 people lost their life and livelihood. Another 40 houses, excluding the ones destroyed in Kavlapara, were destroyed on the banks of Chaliar. 2.54 lakh people were displaced and given temporary shelter in government schools, etc. Power lines and communication towers were destroyed and was rendered useless due to multiple landslides. So what I actually saw there was people were living in extremely landslide-prone areas and were unaware of the underlying threat. They did not know that this particular region could get flooded or that they were living in mountain sites which can have severe landslides. So as you can see, these are two images which I took from two different news websites. The first is from NDTV and it says worrying link to Kerala landslides. Even though they did not have proper scientific evidence to back this claim, he still said so. And the second image is from India Today News. India Today had very accurate and scientific representation of what actually happened. So this is a quote from their website. Malappuram Meteorological Subdivision got 189.4 millimeters of rain from August 1st to August 7th, 66% more than the normal. So the important sentence here is on August 8th, recorded the highest rainfall of the day in Kerala, and the actual disaster took place in August 9th. So we can clearly see a link with high rainfall and occurrence of this landslide. So this is a 2014 image taken with Google's Landsat. It's a satellite image, and here you can clearly see that the mountain peak is where the quarrying is taking place, and on this particular region where you can see thick vegetation is where people live. Is where actually it was encroached land, but this is where there was a few housing colonies. And on August 9th, September 2019, sorry, August 9th, 2019, Kavalapara landslide. This is the actual image. This is a drone image from Madhrubhumi's website. You can see that the whole mountain side just came crashing down and it took the life of 59 people. So now I will show you rainfall trend in Malappuram from the year 2017 to 2019. So the actual rainfall that took place was 1933 millimeters, whereas the estimate was 2060 millimeters. So it was actually less than the estimate. But during the year 2018, uh, there was an increase of 32.19%. That is, the actual rain was 2723, whereas the normal rain was 2060.4 millimeters. And in 2019, even though the rain was less than that of 2018, but several landslides took place. And I will explain the reason. Let me move to the previous slide. So the main thing was where this Kavalappara landslide took place. It took place on a hillock called as Muttappan Mala. And on a 1972 topographic survey, it said that Muttappan Mala constitutes mainly of lithomarginic clay with hard laterite crust. So the main issue with lithomarginic clay is that it loses its strength upon saturation. So the main reason for the landslide, clearly the main reason for the landslide was heavy rain. This region was not used to such high rains, but 2018-19 showed that there was very heavy rains, and this lithomarginic clay lost its strength due to saturation because of water, and the laterite crust was eroded away due to flow of water which took place in the year 2018. And so, as I told you that there was heavy rains, this is a before and after image of Chaliyarpura. This was taken before. This was taken on 2017, and this image was taken by me on September 2020. So you can see the difference. The river was actually like barely 2 meters across, but now it is almost 5 meters across and thrice the depth as it was before because of rains. And this next image, we can see that there is this bridge. The bridge is actually 1.5 meters high. So the river now flows over the bridge instead of under it. This is an image which I took inside Munderi seed farm in Malappuram. This is a landslide which took place, and as you can see, KCB was able to re-establish power lines within months after these landslides took place, but they were placed unscientifically. There was no proof that this won't fall again. This power line won't be destroyed again if in the unfortunate event of another landslide. So this is another image. So you can see some rock fall along with landslide here, and you can see power lines have been put up where the landslide took place unscientifically just to re-establish power, and not for it might not last if there is another landslide. So in this image you can see that rock fall along with landslide has taken place, and rocks have dislodged from this particular mountain side and fell down here to the bottom of the river. So in this image, you can see this is part of the Western Ghats. It is actually, this area is inaccessible by man because of the sheer verticality of the mountainside, and it is closed off because it belongs to Nilambur forest. So there was no human activity, no human intervention, and still three landslides took place here at three different sites. It can be seen in this image. And in this wide angle image, you can see that there are four different landslides, and two of them are actually massive. One here and one on this side. It's actually very massive landslide. There was no human intervention, no mining, no human activity there, but still these landslides took place. Mainly because of the fact that the soil is not very strong and the rainfall was very high. So people living in the bottom of these hills, there are in the bottom of these hills, there is actually a lot of housing colony because the forest region starts from the mountain onward. So there were a lot of people living in the bottom of these hills, and they mainly had plantations, etc. So they lost most of their land because of this landslide. Their plantation was covered in meters of deep mud. So once I zoom in, you can see the landslide a bit more clearly. In this image, you can see this is actually a telephoto image. You can see that there is landslide, and the mountains there are. It is almost vertical, so it is very unscientific to be building in such mountain area and weak soil. With these images, it is clearly evident that Munderi is naturally a highly landslide-prone area, and if people were educated and aware of this threat, they might have reconsidered building houses and plantations there. So, to conclude, several studies have been conducted to accurately map disaster-prone areas all across Kerala. But all this data is not being implemented properly. So one thing we can do is to entrust geologists with analyzing countermeasures that have been taken against the disasters. For example, I showed you images where KCB has rebuilt their power lines, but the thing is, I don't. It might not last if another landslide take place because they have put the power line in the same place. So another thing, encroachment of land in vulnerable areas should be strictly prevented. So land encroachment should be made into an act similar to Wetland Act. If land encroachment is also taken very seriously, then people won't encroach land and build houses in such vulnerable areas, and we might be able to prevent loss of life. So people should be educated about natural disasters. A lot of the people who built house near these landslide and flood prone areas did not know that such an event could take place because they have never seen Chaliar so flooded, and they have never seen that these mountains so weak, the mountain soil becoming this weak. But if in the expert eyes of the geologist, it is clearly evident because the soil is not suited for construction and everything. And so disaster risk assessment data should be easily available to the public, maybe in the form of a mobile app. If people are able to access the disaster vulnerability of a particular region, then surely they might reconsider buying land or encroaching land or maybe even construction. So expert sociology should be employed to persuade people and relocate them from disaster prone areas. Uh, with this, I come to the end of my presentation. Uh, I thank my mentors Saji sir, Devika ma'am, and Vishnu sir for their effort and for their help. Thank you all for this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Kiran. That was a very good presentation. If there is any questions or doubts that needed to be cleared on the topic he just presented, you may ask.
Kiran, myself, Rajesh speaking.
Yes, sir.
Just I want to correct it that the clay is the lithomargic clay. You
Oh,
said it is lithomargic, and the clay is called as lithomark. Actually, what happened is that during the laterization, uh, what happens? The rocks undergoes a chemical weathering, right? So chemical weathering when
yes, sir.
happens, these feldspars that present in the rock when it weathers, it forms the clay, right? And this clay during due to rainwater, it will penetrate down, and this will be removed from the topmost portion of the laterite, and it will be come and settled at the bottom portion where there is hard rock. Okay, so in the laterite
Yes, sir.
profile, if you are seeing that towards the bottom, you can see the lithomargic clay or the lithomark. Okay, so on the surface of the laterite, you can see many voids. You can see only the iron material, only it is brownish iron and aluminum will be there. Rest the clay material will be removed, and that is the lithomargic clay. And this plays very this plays a crucial role for all the landslides. Okay, because when water falls, because clay is having lot of fissility plates. Fissility plates means one layer is over another. That is a very weak plate. So due to the rainwater, when percolate and it enters into the lithomargic clay, this fissile plane will get active because of the overlying load. Okay, because of this thing, this facility plane starts moving. That is the main reason for the landslides. Okay, clear?
Yeah, clear, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, okay.
Thank you, Rajesh sir. Anybody else? Okay, then thank you, Kiran.